Hello and welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming. In this video we are checking out the new Warhammer Underworlds Direchasm preview, reveal, models thing that was just shown overnight at the online preview of Gridiron and Glory. So we don't get too much information about what's going on. We do get a look at all the models from the new box set for Season 4. But, nothing else, but that's fine. So what we're going to do first, we'll look at the Lumineth Realm-Lords, Miyari's Purifiers. So they have come to pacify the anguish of the tormented mountain. So basically what happens is Direchasm is within a mountain, and that's sort of all we know. And something's going on there. So we have an interesting matchup here. So Miyari's Purifiers versus what are called the Dread Pageant, which are Slaanesh. So, elves versus Slaanesh. Very nice. So first up, we have their leader. I'm assuming it's Miyari. Don't have too much information about each of the models, but we're just going to have a look at them. He's throwing some pose, throwing some shade down. All the poses are very sort of light and airy, which is an interesting design choice. I actually really like it. When you think of, they have the mountain motif, but at the same time, what do you get with mountains? You get a lot of breezy air and winds as you get higher up. So you get this idea that they are high up on the mountains. You have the dynamic movement of like the sashes and the fabrics and things like that, and the hair, which I really like. I love how within Warhammer oh my god, wow! I've only just gotten up. I've had a very long night. My words are not working. Warhammer Underworlds, the bases are very thematic and integrated into the models themselves. In this case, you've got like the rocks and the little bonsai trees and the wheat, which is throughout the entire Lumineth Realm-Lords range. But anyway, back to this guy. Nice top knot. Yeah, no, not like that. But he has an owl, which is pretty cool. I think it's super cute. Lots of sashes and tassels and things flowing in the wind. Interesting pose. Very Mr. Miyagi kind of thing going on. We also have one of the elite models from the range with the giant stone hammer. With the bull helmet, yes, it's hit and miss. I don't particularly mind it too much. I'm sort of coming around to it. A lot of people do not like that, but that's fine. I still think the overall design of this range is really nice. Very much harkens back to the old High Elves, but at the same time, not really. Particularly this model here. The female Lumineth with that sword, which is very, very High Elves from the old world. Very cool. And then the final one is one of the Orellan Wardens. Was it the Orellan Wardens? Or the Sentinels? It's Warden or Sentinel. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But again, like standing on top of these rocks, these very... I can't really think of how to describe it, but they're sort of balanced on there, which, again, balance is probably a really good word for the Lumineth Realm-Lords, as they're all about control and power and having that yin-yang type of thing going on, which is really cool. So I actually really like these four models. I think they're all cool. And you can take them and put them in your own Lumineth Realm-Lord army. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. So let's have a look at the Sentinel or Warden. I think it's Sentinel, but I can't remember. Yeah, that could be one of the unit leaders. I think that would be super cool. But of course, they've got to come up against something, and they're up against the Dread Pageant, which is Slaaneshi Warband, which makes perfect sense. It ties into the narrative between the elves and Slaanesh. That's really cool. So this first model, okay. I first saw this and I'm like, oh, that's John Blanche. That's John Blanche artwork right there. And on the stream, they sort of said, oh yeah, it's John Blanche. Like Jez Goodwin meets John Blanche. I'm like, I love it because I'm a huge John Blanche fan. So from the scars that are still not quite healed there, it looks like sort of almost dripped in a bit of silver into those scars, to the hook that's hooked to the wrist. Yeah, I love this. Definitely a very strong pose as well. It's definitely Slaanesh. Very cool. I'm going to come back to the big boy later, but then we have the 2 other fighters. So we have an archer, which is it's a weird design. I don't mean weird. It's a different design to what you usually get with Slaanesh. They don't usually have these thick puffy pants and the mask like this. There is a lot of leather on there, but usually there's a lot more straps and a few other bits and pieces, a lot more spikes and things. But I really like the design. It's a very cool bow. And we also have the other one with a giant glaive. I think that's what the weapon's called, a glaive. And lots of little jingly jangly things on them as well. So very cool. I do like it. The bases themselves, I don't quite know what the bases are, to be honest. Are they like fallen pillars? I'm not sure. But I'm sure we'll get some better looks at them. When I pick them up for the channel, we'll get some better looks. And this fella, the big boy, very old Slaaneshi demon from like early 90s, I'd say, with like the Beastman head with the giant claw, which that claw is very, very nice. Very tall as well. Yeah, I mean, overall, I love all 8 models in the box. I think it's really cool. So I'm keen to get my hand on it. And we also have an image of what comes in the box as well. So standard of what you get. They haven't really talked about the rules. So normally there would be some extra rules, particularly about the Direchasm and things like that. It looks like there's, when you look at the tokens, you've got the objective tokens, but it looks like there's a few other pits. It's like sort of like bubbly poison type pits. So that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be compatible with everything else. You're going to get a whole bunch of other cards. Looks like there's some other tokens as well. If you look on the right-hand side, looks like there's a fire type token. I don't know if that's specific to the characters or the warbands or what, but yeah. Yeah, so it's fully integrated with and compatible with all the other box sets and maps and all the other things like that. So yeah, I'm excited. I think I'm collecting... Well, I did collect the first 2 seasons, all the boxes and all the warbands for Underworlds. Third season for Beastgrave, it didn't really do it for me. A lot of the warbands, I was like, didn't do it. But I think these 2 are cool, and we do know there is a... what are they called? Seraphon. Yes, Seraphon. And that's coming. I was hoping that they would show off a bit more, but they did not. So there you go. Pretty cool. I'm going to get it. I'll pick it up for the channel. I may even do sort of how to play as well, if people are interested in that. But yeah, that's it. Tell me which one your favorite model is. I am undecided between... I actually really like this archer, to be honest. But it's this one here. This is just amazing. It's such a cool model. Very strong model. I love it. That's it. I'm out of here. And actually, before I do, there is... Interesting. I get the feeling these 2 warbands have been designed side by side and purposely were chosen to be in this. There's a lot of mirroring going on. Not just the tassels, that's what I first thought, but there's also all the little trinkets and things. They're painted up to be sort of opposite each other. So interesting. Interesting indeed. Like you've got top knots, different things like that. Okay, I'm just sort of rambling now. But yeah, there's some very interesting juxtapositions and design choices. I think this is done very, very purposefully. So you have an archer, of course, against another archer. You have a fighter against another fighter. Actually, no, I'll probably say this one's more like it. But yeah, I'm rambling now. Tell me what your favorite model is, and we will leave it there. So yeah, I'm trying to get out a few more videos. It's been super, super busy the last few weeks. We've had a lot of track work going on. We're moving very soon in the next fortnight. So the schedule for videos is going to be a bit out, so I'll get up videos when I can. Still have tons of unboxings and build guides to do, but we'll get to there. Anyway, I'm rambling, and I think I said that for like 4 times now. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more, and I will see you in the next video.